I should get some sleep.
Man, Travis Hunter he's going through it. And it's unfortunate too, because he was told about some weird things with this chick, and he had all the red flags. His chick was wilding out and just doing a lot of chaotic things that I was thinking maybe she wasn't trained, and trained in the sense that she doesn't know how to act in those situations. So she needed to, have someone to teach her how to act in those situations. Nope, she's just. I'm not gonna say she a strag though, but yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good here, because this man, as you see, he is crying, or he's not. Well, he probably is crying, but he deleted all his socials.
I think she did too. And I know earlier you said that you don't feel for him, and the reason why I do is I am a retired member of the Nice Guys Club. And unfortunately, the way society is set up with that is what comes with that is women who view you as a mark or a target, right?
Mhm.
She said from the jump that he wasn't her type and that she had to grow to like him. Uh, which, as soon as she said that you're not my type, that I don't know, a man of confidence would have just been like, okay, just keep it moving. But I feel for the guy because he messed up. They both messed up when they started explaining their relationship online to a group of strangers that they didn't even know. Because now you're signaling to the world that what people are saying is affecting you.
Yeah,
I didn't want to talk about this much longer, but he just, I really want men to peep game on how to handle situations like this.
yeah.
Because I think the biggest issue with us, black men in particular, is we're so used to being disrespected by women that we just tolerate it.
Oh
And
yeah. Hold
I think
on.
it's spreading to other men too. Look,
Go on.
I know what the allegedlys are in the videos and then the
Yeah.
stuff that she was doing. I'm just going to keep that in the alleged space. Whether it's true or not, he never should have got online, and neither should she. They probably should have both just deleted or took a social media break from the jump. But again, it looks like she's not interested. He's the breadwinner. It's not. She's not interested in helping him chase his purpose and build his brand, which I
Mhm.
think a wife should be. Um, I don't know. Maybe she's got some OF or some IG model aspirations or something. I don't know. But
It does
if
seem
he,
like she's more into socials.
I saw that T-shirt, by the way, of the rap video she was allegedly in, and she was twerking on the guy. That was some cold stuff, man.
Yeah.
To pocket off of somebody else's, to try to profit off of somebody else's pain.
Oh, this
But
video.
yeah,
He
but
doesn't drink.
again, yeah.
And I'm Hispanic, so I have tequila like in my veins. So I drink. I don't drink a lot, but I drink, and I used to party and stuff. And he would literally drive me, sit outside for hours while I'm inside like partying, and then take us home. Like he never tried to be like, oh, just because I drink, you can't drink, or you can't hang out with your friends, or you can't, go to drink.
Goodness.
And
Oh,
I saw the screenshots of her doing the heart eyes emojis on like I think certain basketball players and football players, his
oh,
pictures,
that
his
was Ian.
statuses and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it would turn out to be a fake. It sounds like it.
Okay. All right. So we'll dismiss that one as a fake. But what I won't dismiss as a fake is her appearing to be completely disinterested in his world and what's going on.
Yeah.
Or the fact that he's driving her to parties and just sitting out in the car and just letting her do her thing. Like, man, this is a terrible formula for heartbreak. And look, again, I am a former member of the Nice Guy delegation. And what I'm telling you is this: these are the first guys who get their hearts broken, and it happens over and over and over again until a villain is created. And now you got a savage that's out here, doesn't trust any women, is taking out all his frustrations on every woman that he meets in the future.
Yeah.
So this is how villains are created, and we openly participate in creating these villains.
Yeah. And they fan the flames of their own origin story, because when they first came out here, anytime you put you do this couple route, people at some point are going to come after you. Okay, they're going to say stuff in the comments. They're going to, create reaction videos, blah blah blah. And it's kind of like you put your information out there. You are subjected. I mean, you're going to be subjected to it. I mean, a lot of famous people have to go through it. But the part I'm not a fan of is that how everybody's like, oh, these guys are bullying. You're bullying Travis. You're bullying these people in they're in their relationships. Where was the bullying? Where were they outraged when they ran Cooking with Kaya off the platform, off of TikTok? Do you know who Cooking with Kaya is?
I do, and I also know that somebody got a hold of a sex video she did with the boyfriend or something, and they leaked that too,
Alleged.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So real
familiar with
quick,
Cooking
with
with Kaya.
the whole thing with Cooking with Kaya, and it's like a perfect. Like I was watching. Funny, it was watching Anton Daniels' Monday night panel, and you had like a lot of women caping for Travis Hunter, and then like leave their relationship alone. They're not bothering anybody, and this young love, blah blah blah. The same people that are caping for Travis Hunter in this situation about the whole social media outrage and everything were the same people that ran Cooking with Kai off the social media platform where she was doing her dance, and then they mass flagged it. So right
Yeah.
now, I believe she's been banned, or she's been has some videos deleted. But this is just hypocrisy. This is hypocrisy all the way around. It's unfortunate that he had to delete everything though, but now it just gives more fire to that people were right about it. And this chick is ruining your brand. So you can be mad at, it's easy to be mad at like people on the internet that you don't know or other creators. You need to be mad at yourself. You need to be mad at the person in the damn mirror. And you need to be asking, like, here's my other question. Did Deion Sanders, did he talk to Travis, or did he just ignore Travis? And I feel like the leader in Deion Sanders, the leader of men, and especially with someone that's gone through his own situation, his own story, which that video had definitely is one of our most popular videos on our channel about Deion Sanders and his evil ex. Has Deion Sanders, did he just ignore the situation? Which I don't think he ignored it. I think Travis ignored him.
There's no way I mean, he had Brittany Renner come in and talk to these fellas about gold diggers and how they turn them into marks and targets. He couldn't have just ignored this. He probably gave good advice, but the thing with some of these Gen Zs and these Gen Alphas is they're not trying to hear you. They don't want you. They think it's lecturing. Oh, and by the way, let me clear up something I said earlier. When I said sliding into the DMs and flirting with other guys, that was based on a Yahoo article that I pulled. That wasn't my word. So don't come for me. I just posted the link. They have screenshots of her allegedly doing what I said earlier. So that's Yahoo News. So I had to go back and correct that. But
and real quick, it's Yahoo News saying this. This is really bad. This has gone nuclear, because it's one thing if it's just on some influencers channel or the shade room. Nobody thinks the shade room isn't like the best place for journalistic integrity or like trying to get your trending news. Yahoo covered it. This is wild. It's gone nuclear, and she is in the way. You would think she would just try to get out of the way, but like, look, you know what? I messed up. I have like a past. I have like things are they're saying things gonna keep coming up. So even though some of this stuff, honestly, I don't know if that's even her though, because I know she has tattoos, and I'm not really trying to look that hard to see if it is her. But at the end of the day, she's going to have things keep coming up, and he doesn't need this. He needs to be preparing for the combine. And honestly, teams are going here. Let me put myself on the big screen. Teams are going to ask Travis, hey, is your chick going to be a damn problem? Because once you get to the NFL, it's a whole nother game. So we covered this last week, I want to say, where he's going to have to worry about other players coming after him, other players coming after his chick. His chick don't have to worry about other women coming after him. And if they get a kid and all that stuff, she's set. So she doesn't need the damn ring. She is set off of his first contract. So he better think long and hard about He better think about, what's going to be in the best interest of you, because you got a chick that is sullying your name, destroying your brand. And you're going to have teams asking you, hey, do you got your chick under control or not?
I said this before and I say it again. Well, let me address one point. The women who are defending her, their biggest argument is leave them alone. They're just kids. Ma'am, they're engaged. That's a fiance. Kids don't get married. Kids don't walk into multi-million-dollar contracts, not usually anyway. There's too much at stake for you to use the he's just a kid argument. This man is an adult. If he was he's going to make a commitment as an adult in front of God, more than likely, that he's going to wipe this chick up. They're not kids anymore. Stop that. Quit. I hate when people look at us black men as boys every time, and they do this over empathetic thing. And it's normally women that do this, and this is why women shouldn't raise boys. Period.
You know the funny thing about you
nurture them into weakness too much.
You want to know the reason why they're coming out there and trying to defend it? Because that was them. That's how they were wilding out.
Well, they wish it was them. They got a millionaire dropping them off at parties and sitting outside waiting while you do Lord knows what at said party.
Yeah, this guy was actually really, I mean, it sounds like he's a really good dude. He's in love and blah. I can understand that. We've all been there. This woman is destroying your brand. And the women that are coming out here, well, and I've seen some men, because some men were like, oh, it's going too far, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you know what? They can either, like he done, get off the internet or just stand in the fire. And now that he's gone as far as he can, or now he's continuing to double down on this, more stuff. Imagine you worked your ass off to get yourself in peak condition, you won the Heisman, you don't know where you're going to be on the draft board, but you know you're going to probably be in the top 10, at least in top 5, I want to say is almost a guarantee there too, as well too. All you got to do is just make sure you don't crash out. He is about to crash out.
Yeah.
We're at level 1 of crash out, deleting socials.
Here's the biggest, well, there's many risks with marriage, and I'm going to give 2 more. One I've talked about before. However your wife, I'm talking to the men, however your wife conducts herself is a reflection of your masculinity. If she's out here flirting, sliding into DMs, even if she's out here like being masculine, trying to fight dudes and argue with dudes all the time, that's a reflection of your masculinity. Like, I'm sorry, it maybe it shouldn't be that way. I don't know, but it is. People are going to look at her and they're going to judge him based on what she's doing. And that's why I say your wife can either be your biggest strength or your greatest weakness, depending on how she conducts herself. Yeah, that's always going to be the case. I'm sorry, nothing you can do about that. But again, I want to go back to this point about all these women saying that they're just kids. No, we're done with that. They're not kids anymore. And I don't know him, but I take the lessons from this and I share it with the men that I'm mentoring. And I said, look, think about stuff like this when you're out here choosing, because one of the people that I do mentor, he is a collegiate athlete. I don't know if he's going to go on to the next level or not, but he has access to a lot of women. So we have these conversations about choosing and asking the proper questions. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, rain on Travis's parade. I just want to take the knowledge from this conversation and give it to other men so that they can choose better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And this is I know we joke a lot on here, and we do have serious conversations, but this has to be a conversation that most men, younger men coming up, or not even men just coming up, but if you become like a great person, like you don't know who you're gonna be in 10 years. I heard that a lot by, either from Anton Daniels or CJ. You don't know who you're going to be in 10 years, 5 years, or 10 years. And you become somebody great, that can all be taken away from, your better half. Someone who says you're her partner, someone who says they have your best interest, and she's the one that can just take your kids from you. She's someone that can, take half your assets, and all because you're like, well, I was in love, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no excuse for that now. We have way too much information out there, too many creators out there, and some of the stuff that, some people say is red pill talking points. Fine, whatever. But a lot of the stuff has actually hit the mainstream. So if this was roles were reversed, and this was let's say Simone Biles, and let's say Jonathan Owens, her husband, let's say he wasn't the man who he is now. He was just some dude that's just, creating problems. I hate to use my excuse though, because they're a really good couple. But let's say like he was doing terrible things, or actually, matter of fact, I won't go that far. Let's just focus on when he went on that podcast with Ryan Clark, and he had those conversations about he didn't know who Simone Biles was. Women were telling Simone Biles to leave her husband.
He said he was the prize.
Yeah. And he said he was the prize and everything. So, and you had people like Ryan Clark, who was just playing, like, I've come around on that though, too, because Ryan Clark was in the wrong for even suggesting like some craziness trying to get his clicks and make Jonathan Owens look like a jerk. Like that was really messed up though, because she had to stand in the fire with everybody, and I want to say she only answered like maybe 1 or 2 times from the critics. They tell everyone to like piss off, so she didn't go the same route as his girlfriend Leanne or whatever her name is. She didn't go the same route. She said her piece. She was like, "Look, kiss her ass," and then she moved on. That was it. And
she handled that like, man, she handled that like a G. She basically, like you said, she's like, "Look, we good over here. Next question." It's that simple. You ain't got to explain nothing.
Yeah, especially.
And why do you want a man who doesn't have confidence? Every man should feel like he's the prize.
Yeah. And this is the one thing I don't understand. The black community is at the whatever statistic that is negative in terms of relationship, black people are at the bottom of it.
We're at the bottom of every relationship category. Every single one.
Black women lead the league in baby deletes and divorces. And I shouldn't be smiling because we're like, oh, you're getting, you're being happy about this. No, I just think it's the crazy hypocrisy that they're trying to give people advice on how to run their marriages. And we saw with Simone Biles and her husband, black women, and it was black women, it wasn't black men. Black men was like, I don't care, really not a big deal. No one came out there and said like, hey, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. Y'all don't need to be having these conversations. And we saw the whole masses come up there and try to ruin them. So this is a great example of that, where when you are doing strike behavior, the community is going to rally behind you. When you are doing dutiful behavior with your husband, the community is going to be against you. And one thing, and this is part of the last thing I'll wrap up with, is when it comes to the cooking with Kaya thing, I've learned there are 2 enemies that typically the black community, and in this case with black women, and I'm not coming after black women, I'm just telling you, here's what I've seen, is that if the woman is conservative, she's going to have a lot of black women come after her, and black men too, though. So, but when the woman is catering to men, and I think some men are just being oblivious and maybe even simping in that situation, because I saw that with Kaya. Like, I'm not going to say like Kaya was putting some amazing content out there. She was doing her thing. That's her lane. It's fine, whatever. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on there, but it wasn't men coming after her. It was black women coming after her because she was catering to her audience. And we see that with a lot of white people. That Hawk Tuah girl catered to her audience, and she got like, Mark Cuban on her damn podcast. Cooking with Kaya got booted off the internet. And so where's the community support there? No, because she was catering to black men specifically, is when sisters come in there and they had a problem with her.
Hey, so I just posted an article from the New York Post. Guess which segment of women are the happiest in life? Women who are conservative and married.
Oh, I've seen that before.
You can't make this up.
Article on it, but yes. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, that's a good point.
If you are in a fully, I'll end on this too. Men, we want to. CGA has a quote that says, "Men are in love, women are in business."
Yeah, they got a bunch of Kayleys up here. Stock image.
definitely some Bakies in the photo. But I think it's very important when you're dealing with the opposite sex that you establish what your non-negotiables are. And as much as you want to love her, she has to understand that you are not scared to leave if she disrespects you. She has to understand that. Yeah. And if she recognizes how good of a man you are, she won't take that for granted. But no matter what, she has to know, if you break these things, these are my non-negotiables. If you break them, I'm gone. I'm not staying. I'm not going to talk it out with you. You've been warned. If this happens, I'm gone. And we're not going to work it out. Like, she has to understand that.
Yeah. And this is the last point I'll have with the conservative side too. Conservatives, you motherfuckers, I can't, because it's a family show, but you will catch wreck as well too. You don't catch as much wreck as people on the liberal side or Democratic side, really progressive side too. But conservatives, you can kind of catch wreck too. So we don't have time to go into this, but look up Steven Crowder and look how that worked out for him as well too, though. He got put in a really bad situation. He had like some simp trying to come in there and trying to ruin his marriage and everything too. So really, this is a conversation for men. This isn't like one race is better than the other race. or you got to be like, you got to focus on one thing. Like there's a lot of factors that you need to pay attention to. And you got to look at these situations, and it's probably helpful to go get a mentor like MC does, or look at some other folks that can do mentorships for men, though, because you need to be able to see the whole picture. And you're going to fall, you're going to falter, you're going to make mistakes. Like, hey, guys, she swallowed the kids. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? We get it. We know chicks are. I got a sound for this. Like,
Love you, whores.
yeah, we get it. We all love them, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to do what's in the best interest of you. You got to run yourself like a business. You come first. They need you more than you need them. And when you are at the top of your game, you can take care of, if you want to do this, you can take care of your family. You can take care of your family's family. Like one of the things that Anton doesn't, and everybody can't do this, but Anton takes care of his wife's family. I don't know a lot of people that can actually do that. That's an amazing thing. And Anton gets the most smoke. And I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but when it comes to like, I think especially with Black men, when we start moving up, we're expected to take care of everybody. And we know Anton's one of the few people out there that's actually doing it. And he's still catching, I mean, people are still saying stuff about him and he doesn't care, obviously. But we want to get to that level though. So if you do want to get to a point where you do stuff like this, you just got to educate yourself. Make sure you are in the right fellowship of men that can make sure that you're going the right direction. And you can't be, honestly, simping out or being a beta, because that will destroy your marriage.
Yeah. And whatever you're building, protect it. Set rules, set guidelines, love her, protect her, but be a man. You can never step off your manhood. Those days are done. And it's going to take the women a while to catch up, because there's an awakening happening. I give Kevin Samuels credit for it. He made a lot of men realize their value, made them get in the gym and be better people, get their bread up. And let's not forget, it was all good when Kevin Samuels was criticizing the men. He didn't start getting smoked till he focused on the women. So regardless, he's got bored. He's approaching 2 million subs now, even after his death. And I think that's an indicator of how masculinity is finally becoming normal again. But we got work to do still.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, that's the end of the episode. Any last words, MC?
Yeah, just keep rocking with us. Subscribe, check out our videos. I promise you, we got some things we cooking on in 2025. We're gonna grow this thing out, and we're gonna keep giving you the information and keep giving you the entertainment.
Definitely. And have a happy Christmas, everyone.
Peace. Merry Christmas.
See ya.